Hello, everybody. Welcome to Broadway.com's Live at 5. It is Thursday, February 14th. It's Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's
Happy
Day.
Valentine's Day out there.
Yay.
And I am Ryan Lee Gilbert.
I'm Paul Wontorek.
And we are joined here in the studio by the wonderful Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
And we have a couple of wonderful guests with us today.
Two super handsome men are sitting on the other side of the camera.
Two Simbas for the price of one. Bradley Gibson and Jared Dixon
Double
are here.
Simbas.
Double Simbas. Broadway tour Simba. It's one big Disney family. We're so happy to have them both here. And we will talk to them in just a second.
Let's say something about today. So Kiss Me Kate
Kiss Me Kate
starts
begins previews
tonight
Absolutely.
on Valentine's
yes.
Day.
Wow.
So
that seems well planned.
Kelly O'Hara. I think it was a thing.
I just got that.
Yeah, and we'll change. And also on the site, we have a Valentine's feature with the cast of Pretty Women.
We do. Yes,
yeah.
it's
Some
beautiful.
gorgeous photographs that Amelie Madrid-Kuzer took, and then our talented Ryan Casey, our illustrator, did something really fun
Ridiculous.
with it.
And hopefully you've already gotten our stickers.
I was going
app.
to say, download our
Yes.
stickers app because you
Look
can
at
send
that.
each other like
And
fun
our
romantic
Valentines are now
things.
printable too.
We hooked you up for
They
Valentine's
put the
Day.
Valentine's Day cards on Instagram stories, so you just send out.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You're all set.
And just love yourself. It's
That's
Valentine's
right.
Day. It's just about
It's all
love.
about
There's love everywhere.
self-love. Spread the love. All right, let's go through today's top 5.
We really do feel the earth move under her feet.
Oh, we have made a lot
Yeah.
of puns about that song.
A lot of puns.
Beautiful, the Carole King musical. It's
Yes.
still going on Broadway. It's a
course
big
it
hit.
is, yeah.
Kara Lindsay, friend of the site, and friend of Beautiful, and friend of the
Live at
Bubble,
5,
former
friend of
Glinda.
all.
Yeah,
A lot of
absolutely.
she's very friendly. She's returning to the cast as Cynthia Wiles. She's played the role before. I think multiple stints.
I think so.
I feel like this
I think
role,
this
this
is
is becoming like a Roxy Hart kind of role. Like you
Yes.
can kind of drop in and do it for a while.
Absolutely, where you're like, I'm just gonna
She's
play Cynthia.
fantastic. So Kate Reinders just left. She was
did.
here also.
Yep.
Right now, if you went, you could go see Jessica Keenan win of Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again.
Right, yes, of course.
Yeah, the big
Yep.
blockbuster movie.
She was like the
She
standout,
originated
yeah.
the role, and then she's back in the role.
She's back in it, yeah.
There's a lot of Cynthia Wiles. And then the real Cynthia Wiles running around, too.
She's still around.
She goes to the
She
theater
may lead
sometime.
the audience tonight.
Kara is back in the role on March 14th. And I forgot to mention, she's also a former Broadway.com vlogger.
Of course she is, yes.
We love her.
And this is some super news.
Superhero, the world premiere of Superheroes, got everybody talking downtown. This is the
Midtown.
What's that? Midtown.
Oh, Midtown.
Midtown.
Off-Broadway.
Yes, off Broadway. This is the new John Logan, Tom Kitt, and Jason Moore musical. Stars Kate Baldwin and Bryce Pinkham. It extended. People are so into it that it's already extended. It's received a 1-week extension. Originally, it was going to close on March 24th, but now you can see it through March 31st. It is in previews currently. It officially opens on February 28th. I know our Beth Stevens just went and saw it. I haven't gotten the full report from her yet, but I think she liked it. Superhero centers on a fractured family, mysterious stranger in apartment 4B, and an unexpected hero who might just save the day. Love superheroes.
We already can't get enough of this news.
Okay, so this is slightly disappointing. We're really excited for the Michael Jackson musical.
Sure, of
Which
course,
is
yeah.
called Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, because Off the Wall was the first vinyl I bought as
That's
a kid.
right. You projected this
Ooh.
title out
That's one of
there.
my
Yeah.
favorite Michael Jackson songs. So they were supposed to premiere it in Chicago, I believe, later this year.
Right.
Yes.
Was the original plan. I didn't book my tickets yet. I almost did.
Ooh.
I'm glad I didn't. It's not happening in Chicago anymore. Now they have announced they will actually premiere directly on Broadway
It's a big
Risky.
move.
in the summer
Big
of
move.
2020.
Yeah, it's
So-
a big
yeah.
bet.
Yeah, so I guess they're I don't know, they're supposed to do a lab, and they're going to do a lab later, and they're still working on the show. This is written by 2-time Pulitzer winner Lynn Nottage of Sweat fame. Sweat fame.
Ruined.
So-
Yeah. It's sweat.
And what is this? The producers have also announced that. Oh, so they're so a concession to the people of Chicago. They will launch the first national
Right.
tour in Chicago in like 3 years.
That's a- they got a plan.
Anyway,
Yeah.
if you're in Chicago, you'll get to see it.
Yeah.
And that's all we really know about it. But so we're kind of like putting a pause on it for right now. We're still super excited. I'm sure we're going to keep talking about
So
it.
many talented people. Christopher Wheeldon
Yes.
directing and choreographing. So yeah, no, it's going to
Yeah.
be a thing.
I'm going to listen to Off the Wall today.
Yes. Good for you.
Fans all across the world are going to be able to listen to this West End production.
That's right. The West End staging of Sam Shepard's True West is currently happening at the London's Vaudeville Theatre.
Oh, it's still playing there, too?
It's still playing there right now, and Audible is getting involved. They're recording it so that you can listen to the recording of it. But this is the big thing they've been doing lately.
Yeah.
They did this with, like, Girls and Boys here in New York, and Harry Clark. I think Latin History for Morons did it. So they are recording it. This production in London stars Kit Harington of, I hear Caitlin Moynihan gasping,
calm
of
down.
course. He's our Jon
Calm
Snow.
down.
We love him.
And Johnny Flynn. It stars the two of them. Of course, True West is also here on Broadway at the moment at the American Airlines Theater.
Same director, right? It's like the same...
I believe it is the
think
same
it's the same
director.
staging.
Yes,
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
staging, yes. Of course, the Broadway production stars Ethan Hawke and Paul Dano. And that will the West End production will conclude its run on February 23rd. And so I'm assuming Audible will record it before that. And then you'll be able to listen to Kit Harington say the words of Sam Shepard's True West in your ear whenever you want.
Ooh, sounds good to me. And casting has officially been announced for this UK premiere.
Yes, so they're doing Amelie.
Amelie.
Remember the musical Amelie was
I
on
do
Broadway
remember,
briefly,
yes.
based on
Yes,
that beautiful film, Amelie.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it in the UK, and they just announced that French-Canadian stage and screen actress Audrey Brisson, am I saying? I didn't
Sounds
take
very
French.
I like that.
I didn't
Yeah.
take French. I took Spanish. Audrey Brisson will headline the UK premiere staging. She's been seen in the... remember when they did Pinocchio at the National?
Oh, I forgot
What happened to
about
that? She
Yeah.
was in that. And Elephantum? Elephantom? Like an elephant phantom?
think
Anyway, it's one word. It's like a combination. It's Elephant Phantom of the Opera. I don't know. And her screen credits include Hereafter, Outlander 2, and Money, and We, which means she knows Madonna. Because Madonna directed that movie.
That's right.
Remember when Madonna was a
do.
film director?
Yeah, yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it'll begin at the Watermill Theater in Newbury for a run starting April 11th. So congratulations, Audrey Brisson.
Yes. Go see Amelie. Paul,
out.
thank you.
I'm gonna go listen to
Off the Wall. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you so much.
Caitlin, why don't you tell us a little bit about today's guests?
Gladly, yes. So we have Bradley Gibson and Jared Dixon, and their last names do kind of rhyme. They're both in the studio with us today because they play Simba on Broadway and the national tour. Bradley, his previous Broadway credits include Rocky and A Bronx Tale, and he also toured the country with Chicago. Jared Dixon, he plays Simba, but he's touring the country, so everyone else out there, not New York, gets to see his Simba. And he's previously toured the country with the color purple. Make sure to follow Bradley on social media at BradGibson13 and follow Jared at It's J Dixon. Follow them both for great content. Leave all of your questions in the comments below. And please welcome Jared, Bradley, and Ryan.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How are you?
So good.
Thank you for joining us here at Live at 5. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, same
both
to
of
you.
Yes, of course.
Love.
We love having Disney family in the building.
Yes.
We are so much love our Disney. How does it feel? How are things going on the road and over at the Broadway's Lion King?
On the road is cold.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to contribute. No, currently we're in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Oh, of course.
We preceded the winter vortex, so we missed it by a week. Luckily, it
Good
started
for
to
you.
break right
Yeah,
before we got there. It was negative 50 in Chicago before we got there. It warmed
my
up to a
goodness.
sizzling 0 degrees by the time we got there. But you know what? It's hot in the theater. It's
Right.
we keep it
That's
nice
right.
and hot in the theater. I'm still sweating. Bradley knows all about that. It's completely fine.
Things on Broadway are good,
Yeah.
you know. 21 years on Broadway.
Yeah, that's nothing to
Nothing to
Nothing to
brush
brag
off,
about.
right? 20 years
Yeah.
is a long time.
Absolutely.
People are still coming out and loving the show.
Mm-hmm.
So much diversity, so many families, so many kids.
Totally
Broadway's
right.
great. Yeah.
I mean, was doing something? Maybe this is a silly question, but was doing something with Disney always a dream? Like once you decided, you wanted to be a performer, was Disney just always at the top of like, I hope to join that family someday?
No.
No.
I guess we have different experiences. I'm slightly older than Bradley, and I was like in the ragtime building across the street when Lion King
okay.
premiered.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
My dad was in the
Yeah.
original Broadway cast, and I was like biased.
Sure. No.
So at that time, Disney hadn't like really solidified itself on Broadway yet, and so it was kind of it was just different and new, and seeing it for the first time was like really jarring.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to make of it until I was about 15 or 16, and I saw it again, and then that's when I was like, oh, I need to be on that stage.
Right.
But when I was like 8 years old, no, like in 97, you know, I just never thought of it as something that I'd be a part of, and now to be here, it's kind of a I don't know. It's just as jarring. To be.
You were a basketball player, right? Too?
Yeah.
Is that what you thought was going to be?
Yeah.
Is that what you were pursuing?
Yes.
No, I mean that's
yeah.
Sure.
I played basketball up until I was about 14 or 15. I started getting recruited around the time I went to high school, but I went to LaGuardia Performing Arts, so that severely changed the trajectory of my life.
I bet it did. Yeah.
And I ran track there. I going to a musical theater program, and then in college I started missing performing, and I just made my way back to it. I got a degree in liberal studies for English and Italian. Yeah. And I didn't use it, so now I'm here.
Well, we theater goers are happy that you came back, that you and was performing always what you knew you wanted to do, Bradley?
Yeah, it's kind of all I've ever done. You know, I grew up singing and dancing and acting, and I was also a Disney freak.
Sure.
Like,
No.
Lion King was the first movie I saw in the theater. My first Broadway show was a Lion King. I had all the VHSs. Back when they had.
Yeah, you bleed
VHSs.
Disney blood.
Yeah, Disney was it. I called Simba my first superhero.
I've read that. Yeah, which I think is such a great way.
That was so. It was always so important to me. Then I got to Broadway, and I was doing all these new original shows, and I never really got a chance to be part of the Disney family. But now I'm here.
Now you're here.
On top of Pride Rock. So
absolutely. Absolutely. What is it something, you both play Simba. What is something that you connect with most in the character of Simba? What's something you like most about the character of Simba? What does this character mean to you?
Simba is so... he's so hungry to find himself. And he's kind of, he's searching for, who am I? Where do I belong in the world? How do I make my family proud, but yet make myself proud? And I think we all can connect to that really human feeling of like wanting to find ourselves. So I see myself in him all the time in that way.
Yeah, and you've looked up to Simba since you were since a little boy. Yeah.
I really identify with the spark inside of him. I feel like my journey to being a performer is similar to Simba's journey to becoming the king again, or becoming the rightful king. I ran away from theater for most of my life the same way that Simba
he was running away from his
literally running away from home. And it took the most important woman in my life saying, you belong on the stage, so. Simba went back to fight for his mom, and my mom called me one day and she's like, you got to go perform again, make yourself happy and do the things that make you happy. So I really identify with that idea that there is something that lives inside of all of us that is that's going to make our heart burn, and it's something that sets your soul on fire is what you should do. And so I feel purposed in being here and being a part of this show.
Totally. And I know that you brought up ragtime, what that meant. You were also like ragtime meant a lot to you when you were like finding your footing as a and it being, of course, Black History Month and all the representation that we're seeing on Broadway more and more and more. How important is that to you in terms of what you go see and what you champion and what you want to be a part of?
For me, I would say it's the most important thing. I want to see a Broadway that represents the world that I see when I walk outside the stage door. I'm not particularly interested in seeing more Black faces on Broadway. I'm more interested in seeing all faces on Broadway. So I think the diversity the diversity game that we're playing currently in casting is wonderful, and I think that as it starts to turn over and become more of a prominent part of the casting process, we will start to see that, and hopefully it will also invigorate more diverse stories, and hopefully it will also invigorate more diversity across the board, like on the creative side, on the crew side, even on the producer side. I mean, I just think everyone deserves to be represented in the theater, because we're all going to partake in our stories and partake in and expressing the things that we feel on stage, and so we all deserve to be spoken for in some way.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
people want to see themselves on stage.
Right.
That's really what we all want. So everyone should have the opportunity. So I
Certainly,
think that it's so empowering to me to do the show every night and see, a little brown boy or girl in the audience. I remember being that little black boy in the audience, seeing Ragtime, and seeing Brian Stokes Mitchell, and seeing Audra McDonald, and seeing your dad.
Right.
That's crazy. I remember that
Yeah,
and how
he's up
like
there.
that. It changed my life, you
Yeah.
know? Seeing Lion King on Broadway changed my life because I saw a full stage of people that looked like me and were singing in the way I like to sing. And, that's so empowering. And I think we have to keep thinking about that and thinking about who we are, who are we touching with the stories that we're telling. Because
Absolutely.
everyone should have that opportunity, no matter if it's color, no matter if it's orientation, your area you're from, your socioeconomic status, like everyone should see themselves.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And
Love
something else that has been fantastic that Disney has been sort of pioneering is the sensory-friendly performances,
Right.
which are a whole nother aspect of that,
Yeah.
opening up shows to diverse audiences. And you both have participated in those sensory-friendly. What was that experience like for you because the show is so different for you as an actor, I'm assuming, to make it easier for those audience members that are there?
When I joined the company, the first thing I heard about was this sensory-friendly performance. Everyone was talking about how excited they were about it, how it was their favorite show of the year, and I didn't really understand why or really what that meant.
Right,
And
right.
it was actually during Broadway Flea. It was that Sunday.
Sure, okay,
So
yeah.
I did, the signing table the whole morning, and then we go to the show, and the show was hard at first because it's the lights are up, it's louder,
Right.
It's people are talking.
Your
and
lightning
whatnot.
thunder
yeah,
isn't there.
thunder isn't
Yeah,
there. The
right.
lights aren't as strong. The music cues aren't
Yeah.
there. So it kind of took me a second to tap into where we were, how to do my show. But then you think about the moments when it got so quiet,
Yeah.
and when they were listening. And oh my God, I could cry thinking about it. I'm not gonna do that. But that was so special. Now
Absolutely.
it is my favorite performance of
Sure.
the year too.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And they were so excited after the show too. Everyone was so happy and cheering, and it means something to know that you brighten someone's day.
Yeah.
And
No.
giving someone opportunity to see a show that might not always get a chance to
Right.
see the show, or might be kind of a parent might be judged or frowned upon for taking their child to a show if they can't focus in the way that we normally all
and enjoy
do.
it the way.
And
Yeah.
it
Sure.
was so
Yeah.
cool.
No,
So
and I've seen you there. You've had pictures, you pose with people that come to see the show, and I mean, is that engagement of the audience? Is that a special part of your job that you?
Yeah, I think specifically like being on the road, I think it's interesting for me to meet people from other places. I know you get an opportunity to do that here, but seeing them in their comfort
Going
zone,
their
in the
home,
theater
yeah.
that they've been going to for the past 15 years, they know the local crew backstage, they know the ushers,
Right.
So it's really me that's the newbie there, and I'm being introduced to them. It's very interesting, and I've had some of these strangest encounters, but all beautiful. All beautiful. I've gotten hugs and kisses and all notes and the best handshakes and the best compliments. And I think every time I have an opportunity to spend a little extra time with someone that comes to the stage door, or a local crew member or something like, just in Spokane, there was a crew member. Shout out to Miss Burke, you're amazing if you're watching this. She had 2 daughters who came to see the show one day. Thinking nothing of it, I stopped and said hi to them when I was coming from makeup, because in this specific theater, makeup was on one side of the stage, and for me to get back to my dressing room, I had to walk around the stage bunker and back to my dressing room.
Got it.
And they were standing there, and I walked by, and they were just like staring at these 2 little beautiful brown girls with the curliest hair. And I said, hello, how are you? Did you enjoy the show? And they're like, you're Simba. I was like, yeah, my name is Jared. Nice to meet you. And they told me their names, and it was just the cutest thing. And I thought nothing of it. And then when I left, I got a note from her that basically was saying like theater is like we make a pizza as a community. I can't remember the exact metaphor, but it was this beautiful message, and I love pizza, so it worked. And the fact that she took that time to say something special to me, to give me encouragement and say that what I'm doing is purposed and what I'm doing is felt by someone, especially the younger generation, was was something that I'll carry with me forever.
It's got to be a beautiful reminder of why you do what you do. Those
Right.
moments like that.
Right, exactly.
I want to open it up to our friends watching along. What would they like to know?
We got a whole lot of questions, and a lot of people are saying, Lion King movie, exclamation point. Are you excited, question mark.
Oh my God, Beyonce. You were so excited. That trailer,
So good.
Yeah.
I felt like a little kid again in the movie theater with my mom, like that's so exciting, and the story keeps like, it still works.
Right.
21 years later, I'm just
Absolutely.
as excited about it as I was as a little 5-year-old kid.
Same.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it rebirthed. I'm excited to see Beyonce be a lion.
Yeah,
I'm excited
right?
to see
Yeah.
Donald Glover be a lion. Like, I was just talking to somebody today. It was weird when Lion King came to Broadway because we were like, how are they going to make animals people? Like,
Right,
how are they going to make people animals? And now I'm thinking about the live action. And I'm like, are the animals going to sing?
That's right.
Like, are we just
Yeah.
going to get the music in the background? Disney, what's up? Tell us.
Yeah.
Let us
Surprised you
know.
don't know.
Summer 2019.
Right.
Yes, I know, it's so soon.
Yeah.
So Joanne wants to know, what was your favorite Disney movie, and who's your favorite Disney character as a kid?
That's so hard. I was a Disney freak.
My favorite Disney movie is actually Mulan.
Yes.
My
one.
favorite Disney character is, I hate to say it, but it's Scar. I really hate to say it. He's one of the
fascinating
best
choice.
characters
no,
that Disney's ever made.
Absolutely.
Transcendent. I don't think
Yeah.
any villain
And
in-
Jeremy Irons, I mean, the
Right.
performance he gives is Scar.
Right.
is
It's somewhere between
remarkable.
Scar and like maybe Hercules. I'm not sure. But if I had to pick right now, it would be Scar. And I hate to admit it, and I would never say it ever again. So you guys got it the one
Yeah,
time.
this doesn't live on the internet.
That's so funny. I'm gonna say Hercules as my favorite movie,
Yes.
but Aladdin is my favorite character because he was like, he was a
coolest.
dude and he was so cool. He was running and jumping off buildings. He was falling in love with a girl. He got to have the full Disney adventure experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Aladdin did parkour.
Yeah. Right.
He did. Literally purveyor of
Aladdin was
art.
major.
That's amazing. Yeah. So Alec wants to know that his question is, do the acting choices of the young Simbas affect your performances, and how does how do you guys have that relationship with the young Simbas?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I think we definitely share a role. So I pick it up. We pick it up.
Yeah,
Where
in
they
some
leave
way.
off. So Simba, when we are introduced in the show, he's very excited and young and searching and hungry for more, and he in the same energy that the little
Right.
boys have.
Right.
They're full of life and energy. It's not until later in the show where the past
Right.
kind of comes back and hits him in the face, where he really has to like face everything. But yeah, I definitely feel that same high energy that the kids bring to it, and the kids backstage.
They're amazing.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Broadway kids are
Are
little
just-
adults.
yeah.
But they're also
Yes.
kids, and they're doing their homework. They're playing games. They're playing jokes on us cast members. They're
And then they
Yeah.
go out there and beast it. And
and they have so much energy at the end of the show. We do our bows together,
Right.
holding hands, and they're like jumping up and down, and like I'm sweating and like wanting to go to bed, and like, oh, I'm so tired. And they're like, let's play a game. I'm like,
No.
yeah.
I always think of it as I'm making the transition from being that young Simba to being something that resembles Mufasa. And so as soon as I pick up, I'm trying to mirror or mimic something in that child's personality, so it changes every night. Even backstage as I'm listening to the show, I get to hear some of the artistic choices that they make, and I have the privilege of watching them in dress rehearsals every first time we go to a new city. So I get to see them do things physically,
What
and
they're working
and I
out.
steal
Yeah.
some of their stuff.
Inspiration.
Any good actor knows to steal. So,
Absolutely.
so that's what that all is, and honestly, I just love kids. My first passion before, obviously after basketball, when I ran away from theater, it was teaching, and that didn't work out. But I wanted to teach because I had that love for kids, and I bring it to my job every day. Yeah.
Sweet. So this is going to be our last question. So Jake wants to know, what do you guys do for the first act of the show? How are you guys hanging out
How do you spend that
backstage?
time?
Play some spades, you know.
Some
No,
card games. No, I usually get to the theater and I I walk around and talk to my fellow castmates and check in and say
Yeah.
hello.
Do the touchdown. with
Right.
everybody? Yeah.
I talk with my dresser. We catch up all our current events. Me and my dresser and I and L. Steven Taylor, who plays Mufasa. Current events, what's going on. And then I try to focus in, have some tea. I start vocalizing, do a little physical warm up. Then I go to makeup about 10 minutes of the show.
Okay.
We sit in the makeup chair, and that's also like, catch up
Catch
too.
up.
The makeup room
Yeah,
is the
sure.
best.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Because I'm getting my makeup done at the same time as Nala's getting hers done.
Oh,
so we're all
that's-
talking and doing
It's a
that.
key.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Great.
Pretty much the same thing. I try to check in with anyone I haven't seen in the past, couple of days. The road is tumultuous. We start missing each other, even though we're in the same building every day. You also try to stay away from people because we're in the same building every day.
Get away.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'll see you.
right. So I check in with people and same thing. I just go to the makeup room, spend some time with my Nala, my makeup artist, and the locals, and just really just get in the zone and try to. I think more than anything, I try to take my mind off the show for at least 5 minutes before I get on, and then once I'm in my costume and heading to the stage, then I'm really like driving my way towards swinging out on that vine, trying to put the smile on, trying to give trying to hit the last 10 seconds of the first act hard.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
amazing.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you both so much for coming in and spending Valentine's Day with us and chatting with us about The Lion King. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Break legs in your shows. Continue to do such good work.
Thanks so
Yes,
much.
thank
Thank
having
you.
us.
Of course.
Yeah.
Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We're live at 5 every single day on Facebook. You can listen to us in a podcast form by searching for hashtag live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We talk to Max Crumb about the off-Broadway cast album release of The Evolution of Man.